got himself into the lead. Lyle.
Look at that shooting accuracy.
He's going to cross the line as a deserving World Cup final champion.
Pentathlon fans, hello and welcome back to Cairo, Egypt for day 2 of the first World Cup of the 2026 Pentathlon season. Yesterday was the women's semi-finals. Today is the turn of the men, and we cannot wait to get underway with today's competition. Semi-final A will get us underway. We'll then follow by semi-final B. Similar weather conditions to yesterday. A nice, cool, I would say mild for Cairo standards, at least 23 degrees with a tiny little bit of wind in the air. Lovely conditions for these pentathletes as we look to decide which the 9 athletes from semi-final A will be to progress through to Super Sunday's final. 18 spots away, 9 will come from this first semi-final. Let's see how the competition takes place. We begin with the fencing direct elimination. It's first to 5 touches to progress through to the next round. The winner overall gets 250 points. Then we move over to the new discipline within pentathlon. 8 obstacles to get past. The faster you get through, the more points you secure. Swimming has changed this year, reduced from 200 meters to 100 meter freestyle. It's very fast, it's very quick, and the points are even more precious than they were in previous seasons. We then move over to the laser run, which itself has changed as well. It's now 5 shooting routines replacing 4 shooting routines. The first lap is straight to the laser range where you need to hit 5 targets in order to progress. The first over the finish line will be the winner on Sunday. Today though, it's all about getting inside that top 9. It is the semi-finals and the battle for 9th place commences. So welcome everybody to Cairo, Egypt. Myself, James Anadakis, and Mariam Amur joining you in the commentary box. Mariam, a former pentathlete, now a commentator. Mariam, welcome back to Cairo, Egypt.
Thank you. I mean, it's been amazing. We've seen some incredible performances from the women yesterday, and we really have seen the impact of the new format and what it can do to people who haven't scored that much in the ranking rounds. For example, we had Paula Valencia yesterday. She started out 15th in the ranking round and finished at the top of the leaderboard after the direct elimination.
Let's take a look then how the athletes are going to start out today. These are the standings based on the seeding round. Now all it does is just give the athletes a bit of an advantage in terms of where they are seeded for the direct elimination. Valentin Below is the highest ranked athlete. He took 24 wins from the seeding round. Lukas Kotowski took 23, and then gradually those numbers go down all the way down to 18th place Shaba Boom, who is a world champion and a World Cup final champion. He took 12 wins, but it doesn't matter. The scores are reset today. It's all about beating your opponent in front of you and trying to get as far through that direct elimination as possible. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't want to face Shaba Boom at this point. That is it's a real sort of cat amongst the pigeons, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he has a point to prove at this point. He is an incredible athlete overall, and as you can see him coming up the strip now as we announce the athletes one by one.
Shaba Boom, 2024 world champion, World Cup final gold medalist as well. It didn't go his way in the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, and he took a year off last year for health reasons. But he's back and back with a bang. Shaba Boom, our first athlete out onto the piste. Next up is Ma Yang from China, taking 13 wins in the seeding round. Has a fairly limited World Cup experience, so this is going to be interesting to see how he gets on. Great to see Christian Zillikens back on the circuit, father of 2 now. Husband of Annika Zillikens, a former athlete as well. He's a multiple World Cup medalist. Mustafa Abu Amr, another one of these young, exciting Egyptians. I love this guy. He's got a real personality about him, hasn't he?
He does, yeah, and he's quite the exciting obstacle course athlete as well.
Silver medalist at the 2024 Junior World Championships. Up next is Pau Salamo from Spain. Very good in the obstacle. So the fastest obstacle time of the 2025 World Cup finalist. World Cup finals, semi-finalist at 2025 World Championships. Jean-Baptiste Morcia, a serious laser runner. Former World Cup medalist as well. and serious athlete. Jean-Baptiste more serious, someone you wouldn't want to see behind you in the laser on, because there's a good chance it's going to end up in front of you. Looking very cool with the aviator sunglasses. Murtaz Mohammed, one of the stars of the sport. He just missed out on qualification for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games after winning multiple medals, just missing out on a World Championship medal in the 2024 World Championships. Alexander Tovkai, one of the most experienced athletes out there. Had a very good Paris 2024 ranking round in the fencing. Lu Changlu from China. Won gold in the Hungarian indoor finals, I think I'm right in saying, if memory serves correct. Olympian Charlie Brown. Very, very talented British athlete. I always think of him as one of the young up-and-coming athletes, but he's getting more and more experience now, and as an Olympian has already achieved so much in this sport. Ahmed Abdelhamid.
Yeah, he's one of the younger athletes. You haven't seen him in the senior scene as much, and yeah, excited to see what he can do.
Bougra O'Neill, another Olympian, semi-finalist in Paris. Was also an Olympian in Tokyo. Marek Rich, another very experienced, very impressive athlete, just missing out on Paris Olympic qualifications, but is one to watch here in Cairo and indeed over the 2026 season. Great year for Mihaly Kolazar last year, winning a couple of silver medals in the first events, notably in his home events in Budapest. Yuri Kowalczuk, gold medalist at the 2025 European Championships. Ivan Kapso is one to watch. He's an up-and-coming athlete who we are keen to see what he offers the senior circuit. Limited World Cup finals history at this level. Lukas Gutowski, another Olympian in Tokyo and Paris. He's also a former laser-on world champion.
Yeah, we're seeing the seniors after Paris, they took a year off, and now they're making the big appearance as Valentin Bello makes his way out to the piste.
Yeah, Valentin Bello, one of the stars of the sport, a two-time world champion, missing out, frustratingly from his perspective, on Paris 2024 Olympic qualification, but is one of the stars of the sports and a great advocate of modern pentathlon. And those are your 18 athletes for men's semi-final A. Let's see how this competition progresses. We begin with the fencing direct elimination. Now, fencing, of course, has changed a little bit over the last few years, hasn't it, Mariam? Of course, the ranking round has now been replaced by the seeding round, and now we have this bracket, which you can see in front of you here, where the athletes are really just trying to get through as far as they can. The further you go, the more points you get. 250 for winning, 244 for coming second, and then it's 6 points back the further down the positions you go. So serious points up for grabs.
Yeah,
but you've got to be really focused, haven't you?
Yeah, it's 5 touches, as we said, so it's, well, athletes do have to go for a different strategy when it comes to those 5 touches. You have to switch up your tactics. You're going to have to play on the attack sometimes. You're going to have to go back to the back of the piste and play on the defense. It all just comes down to tactical fencing skills that I don't think pentathletes were that used to over the years.
Well, it used to be if you had a good fencing ranking round, if you got like a 27 in the ranking round, you could kind of coast your way through the competition.
Yeah.
Not the case anymore.
It sets you up for success at the beginning of the competition, yeah.
And,
sure.
and athletes would be visibly distraught if they had a bad ranking round, because I remember seeing Zhou Chung, Olympic gold medalist from Tokyo, in Paris, was close to tears after his ranking round in Paris, because it didn't go his way, and he knew at that point
there was no way back.
There was pretty much no way back.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a good switch up of things.
Agreed. Right, here we go then. We have Piste A and Piste B. Piste A obviously at the top, Piste B at the bottom. This is your round of 32. The winner of both of these bouts will face the highest seeded athletes. Bello in the top part of the draw, Bukowski in the bottom half of the draw. Abouama with the first touch against Shababoum. Now listen, Shababoum took a year off. He was a great fencer. He is a great fencer. I think possibly a few cobwebs to kind of dust off to try to get back to his best true form.
Yeah, I mean, taking a year off can be difficult, and just trying to gain back momentum from that is a difficult task, but Shababoum is an incredible all-round athlete. Here we go. No touch for Piste B, so it's 1-0 for Mustafa Abu Amr. You can see up on Piste A, we have a tie at 1-1 with 24 seconds on the clock. Chinese athlete lunges forward. Beautiful touch there by him. Christian Zillikens does have the priority, so just needs to even out the score if he is to progress through to the next round. Goes for the flesh. It's a double touch. 3-2 on Piste A.
Now just if you are new to the sport, welcome. This is Modern Pentathlon, 5 sports in the space of around 90 minutes. It really is the ultimate all-round test for athletes. Piste A, you can see the scores of 3-all, 12 seconds remaining. The star by the athlete's name is the priority rule. So that means the higher athletes from the seeding round, if the scores are level, progress. So as things stand, Zillikens in a very strong position, because even if Ma levels things now, which he has done, then the priority is with Zillikens. So effectively Zillikens in the lead here. 4 seconds to go, and it was Zillikens. So there we go, Zillikens progresses through. Doesn't get any easier. Valentin below away soon. Abouama has now taken a huge leap towards, I mean, effectively qualification, if you ask me, for obviously the round of 16, because Boom would now need there we go, it's done. It's done. I mean, yeah, there's no way back for Boom here. We'd need to get 4 without reply. And there we go, Abouama secures his spot against Lucas Kotowski, who, by the way, has a great fencing seeding round. He'll be with confidence.
Yeah, I mean, he's up against one of the more experienced athletes, and kind of didn't see him last year. Probably took a year off after Paris. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see the mix of things. You have the younger, inexperienced athlete, and you have the older athletes who have done the sport with riding and don't have that much experience. And I mean, it's a nice mix-up of things. I like this.
Now, we saw yesterday Paula Valencia perform a miracle. She went from the round of 32, so being the 15th highest ranked fencer from the seeding round, to winning fencing. We've never seen that before in a new format in a Pentathlon World Cup.
Yeah, she climbed all the way up.
Which kind of is, I wanted to see that happen at some point, and basically I feel the point right now is it kind of, everything's sort of been reset, hasn't it? So now we're in the round of 16. Forget the seeding round scores, because that happened 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I think yesterday the men's
yesterday was the men's ranking
or seeding round.
Yeah. I think it's getting confusing, but yeah, it gives them hope, and as you said, it's like you're starting from the 0 point, and the only way you can go is up.
Zillikens versus Bello. This is a real battle. I'm curious about this one. Abouama, Kotowski below. So can Zillikens carry that momentum forward? And that was the point we're getting to, is winning a round of 32 tie sets you up nicely. But then listen, Bello is probably one of the best fencers in the world.
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement to make?
I mean, in this field, definitely. I think he's one of the, well, he's on the older side. He's more experienced than most of these athletes. He's missing out a bit on the obstacle course, but I've seen him actually in previous competitions. He's done really, really well to catch up. So
yeah, Bello's improved massively in obstacle. 2 apiece, Zillikens, Bello. This is a nervy time for both these athletes, because round of 16, you want to be getting through to the quarterfinals, really, don't you? Because the points difference. I mean, listen, Bello, this is where the seeding round is important. The minimum that Bello can get is 9th place.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's guaranteed decent points. So there is that level of he will be okay, you would have thought, given, I mean, listen, he wants to remove the pressure from the obstacle, as they all do.
Yeah.
Because if you can afford to lose a few points in obstacle, you just go into that a bit more relaxed. That's the unknown at the moment, isn't it? Because he knows he's going to swim a certain speed, although there are big points up for grabs for swimming. We'll discuss that. Zilliken's 1 point away from the win here. This is insane. Zilliken's could be about to cause an upset here. Good reaction from Bello, but no, Zilliken's gets the win. So we've lost our highest seeded fencer, just like we saw yesterday in women's semi-final A. The highest seeded fencer is out. Bello will only get 9th place overall. So Zilliken's has done very well here. Shout out to Christian's wife, Annika, who is now a mother of 2. 218 points then for Valentin Bello, which is fine. 30 points, I mean, it's manageable.
There's a lot of discipline still to come to make up for that. And we saw the swimming switch things up completely. I mean, one second is worth 5 points.
Right. So Abuama and Gutowski is 3-3. Brown and Abelhamed is just getting underway. Abuama versus Gutowski is in a real tussle here, by the way, as well. Are we about to lose our second highest seeded fencer? 10 seconds to go. Gutowski has priority. Abuama needs to make a move here. Gutowski's managing as well. Abuama gets forwards. And Gutowski gets the touch, and that is as good as take guarantees his path through to the last 8.
But look at that, Mustafa Abu levels the score at 1.5 seconds to go. This is going to be tough.
Well, throw yourself at your opponent is all he can really do, isn't he? And Gutowski knows that. And where's he gone? Is he back? I think that might be the last we see of Abu in fencing today. Is he okay? He's fine, he's back. There we go.
So Gutowski moves forward to the table of 8 quarterfinals.
He will face the winner of Unal and Lee, who will be next on Piste B, I believe. Brown versus Abelhamed is in the final 5 seconds. We've not given this the attention it deserves. The clock ticks down. I think maybe we'll get some time added back on. Priority with Abelhamed.
Yeah, I think his equipment came loose there.
Brown needs to touch. We'll see how much time is added back on. I'm sure they're going to add a little bit more than that.
I think it's around 3 seconds the time remaining, so still very tight.
The equation is simple. Brown needs a touch and is next. Looks 1.1. Oh, it's creeping up. 1.2. Yeah, up it goes. Brown will take every 10th of a second off the term here. You reckon it's around 3 seconds, Marion?
I think so.
Still going up. So what happens here is it's 1.6. There we go. And Abelhamed gets the touch. And with the priority, that should be enough. I think Brown is probably resigned to the fact that he's going to have to settle for a round of 16 finish. So Brown knocked out by Abelhamed, who will face Zilliken's in the quarters.
So here we go, Piste B. We have Lee and Unal Bukra. This is...
Yeah, Unal or Lee will face the winner of Gutowski in the round of 8. Meanwhile, on Piste B, we have Kolosar versus Mutaz. This is a good battle.
Yeah, I think both these athletes are very much in form, and
Mutaz number 1.
I think he is. Yeah, I mean, I think both are contenders for a medal at this competition if they make it through to the finals.
Oh, totally. Yeah, 100%. And it's almost like this is about you kind of wanting the later stages, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes,
I mean, one of them is going to be knocked out.
In
so
football terms, you get like a France v Brazil in the round of 16. I want that as the final.
Yeah.
I don't want that as the round of 16 tie. But anyway, it also makes it interesting at this point of the competition, doesn't it? Because one of these two is going to take a bit of a points deficit here. Both good runners, both good fencers. No action so far. KG Star priority is with Kolesar. Yeah, you're right. This is the two of Pentathlon's in-form athletes up against each other here. Murtaz Mohammed is definitely a future Olympian, arguably a future Olympic medalist.
Yeah, takes that counter 8.
Like the Egyptian team is brutal, isn't it? In terms of you've got to get ahead of Ahmed Al-Gendi, you've got to get ahead of Mohammed Al-Gendi, you've got to get ahead of Mahana Shaban, you've got to get ahead of
Mustafa Mohammed as well, and Mu'taz.
And Shaban's brother is
Mezen.
It's a team of potentially you could probably have an Olympic Games with just male Egyptian athletes.
Yeah, I mean, it's intense. The competition is intense between those. 1-1 in
Mohammed versus Kolesar, and you can hear from the cheer that Murtaz gets the touch.
Yeah, 6 seconds on the clock now. It's going to be a flat out. Is it?
Scrappy.
Scrappy, yeah. No touch there, but it is.
Noel, by the way, absolutely flying past Lee. Apologies, we haven't given that the attention it deserves, but we've been gripped by this battle between Mohammed and Kolesar. But Noel absolutely flying past. He'll play Gutovsky in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, Kolesar needs a point here if he is to progress through. 2 seconds left on the clock. He needs 1 point, and he does it. It's a green light for Kolesar.
Oh my gosh.
It's 0.1.
10. That's it. It's done. All Kolesar has to do is one giant step back. There we go. Done. That's brilliant by Mihaly Kolesar. Has upset the crowd here. Oh, hang on. What's happened here? Was the point given to Kolesar?
Yeah, it is 2-2. I think it just wasn't updated on the graphic
yet. There was a little bit of Kolesar had a little word with the ref. I'm not sure why, but let's watch the replay. There's definitely a clear touch, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Kolesar done well there. Really did well. I mean, I think that's more costly to Murtaz as well, because Kolesar was seeded 5.
Yeah, but still, I think Murtaz has a really good swim time. He has a really good obstacle course time. I think as of now that we can count him in for the finals. He's gonna make the top 9. He has a good laser run as well. So for his sake, I would put in a good time and maybe take a bit more risk in the obstacle course. So on the bottom half of your screen, we have Tofkai and Griech. Still in the table of 16. Griech with 1 point over Tofkai.
Competition hotting up.
Literally. The sun is shining. These athletes are feeling the heat. So Griech versus Tofkai, 2-1. 30 seconds left on the clock, and Tofkai gets the touch, levels it out, and it is Griech with the priority rule at 29 seconds left. Try to get you words on the action on both pieces, and you can see up on your screen, Murcia is 2 over Kowalczyk. Murcia is a dangerous athlete to have behind you. You want to be clear of Murcia, and him gaining points on the piste is not going to be good for the rest of the field. He counter parries, no touch there. These are big points up for grabs here in direct elimination. Again, misses out on a chance to touch. Kowalczyk goes down low. He's attacking here. It's a double touch. Murcia needs to keep up that 2-point lead in order to progress through. Kowalczyk. Here we go. Things are getting interesting now. It is 3-2 for Murcia versus Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk needs 1 more point to even out the score. He has time priority as well. He is the higher seeded athlete. It is, I don't think that's going to be counted as a touch, and it doesn't. So just wiping off the sand there before he gets onto the strip. 20 seconds on the clock. Kowalczyk versus Murcia. It is KG. It is the touch for Kowalczyk on the defense. Murcia asked to check his weapon though. It is 3-all now for Piste A. Over on Piste B though, it is 1.4 seconds to go, and it is 4-all. Actually, it's half a second to go, and it is gonna go to Grić. He does have priority. You can see the star next to his name. And Grić moves over to the quarterfinals. 7 seconds on the clock on Piste A. It looks like it's going to be Kowalczyk, and it is 5-3 for Kowalczyk. He moves over to the quarterfinals, and he'll be up against Kolizar in the next round. So quarterfinal matches, we have Zilikins versus Abdelhamid, Kolizar versus Kowalczyk, and Unal versus Gutowski. One more match to see who goes up against Grić. We have Kamtu versus Salomo. Those are the brackets for Piste A up on your screen now. You can see Kowalczyk made it through, Kolizar made it through, Abdelhamid made it through, and Zilikins made it through to the quarters.
To make it easier for you to read at home, it's basically the highlighted athletes who've made their way through. These are your top 8, Marion. It's progressing nicely, isn't it? Salomo in action now against Kamsu.
Yeah, winner of this bout will go head-to-head with Marek Grić in the quarters. And here we go, our first touch. Kamtu, 1-0. He is the higher-seeded athlete as well. And with the French grip and a left-handed, ooh, that was a beautiful timed shot. Incredible, 2-0 for Kamtu. Slow but steady for him.
This is how you want to really control the pace of a bout if you are, especially the athlete with the priority. It's just very solid performances from Kamsu, but double touch is good as far as it's concerned. Zilikins versus Abdelhamid in the round of quarterfinals. Another really interesting battle. Zilikins is going very well here, by the way.
He is. He's climbing up quite nicely.
Look, and gets the touch now, and it's tough for the athletes that are not effectively with the priority, because they are essentially starting 1-0 down, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
It's basically an extra point their priority, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess that's where the ranking round in points comes in.
You get an extra. It's a good point. You start every round with a point, as Kamsu, by the way, demolishes Salomo to move through to the quarterfinals against Grić.
Zilikins could replicate what we saw yesterday with Valencia.
Yeah,
he started in 16th.
It's looking very likely he's going to be through to the semi-finals here. Massive step towards qualification for the final. This Zilikins. Abdelhamid keeps things interesting. 4.6 to go. A touch now for the Egyptian would progress him through to the semi-finals. Zilikins needs to focus here. Abdelhamid needs to defend well, which he's done there, and that should be enough. You can see the bracket for the second half of the draw. Piece B just below us on the screen there. And there we go. Zilikins has done it. Zilikins becomes our first athlete to go through to the semi-finals. Zilikins in fine fencing form here.
Yeah, I mean, what he did in the ranking round was obviously not his best fencing. It's not a good projection of what he's able to do, and it's interesting that these 5 touches comes with a whole different story, and it's a whole different day, and you can be mentally better prepared for this day, and he's done so. He might even make it all the way to the finals, so watch out for Christian Zilikins.
So we are now into our next batch of quarterfinal ties, and actually from the semi-finals onwards we just go to Piste A. Up next is Kolizar versus Kowalczyk. Unal versus Gutowski is underway. Priority with Gutowski, who is doing a good job of carrying that second seeded round forward. Kowalczyk gets the early touch against Kolazar, which effectively puts him into a 2-0 lead. So that little star, think of that as an imaginary point. But actually, if you're 1-0 down, then you don't. It's not a point, but it kind of is.
Kind of.
Psychologically, it's like
yeah,
a little.
I think it's
the
boost. Psychological. Yeah, definitely. He is picking up now. Kowalczyk is.
I mean, Kowalczyk is as good as. I mean, that is a phenomenal start for the first 12 seconds of a tie to be just 2 points away from victory. This is one of the quickest. Kolazar, by the way, has an aura.
He does. I think he's.
He creates like.
He's a very big personality.
Yes, but confident as well. I love to watch him compete. And he needs to lean into that to try to get himself back into this tie, and he has. I mean, it's narrow margins this, but 3-4, one touch for Kowalczyk in the next 34 seconds is going to conclude that. And now versus Gutowski is going right down to one. Massive touch that for Gutowski, who now is using that priority, and that's turned around beautifully on the Polish athlete, who is now as good as through, unless Kananol respond with a second to go. The touch not going the way of the athlete from Turkey, Gutowski, and they'll share the spoils there, double touch. And I think that was Kowalczyk victorious.
Yeah, I think Unal just succumbed to that loss on the quarterfinals. It is going to be Gutowski moving forward to the semis.
And Kowalczyk. Priority forward, Kowalczyk on the right, representing Ukraine.
Zilikins versus Kowalczyk, our first semi-final. It will be Gutowski versus the winner of Kamsu and Glitch. It always seems to be that Piece A moves quicker than Piece B, by the way. It's just pure coincidence.
So Zilikins versus Kowalczyk. The winner of this bout moves forward to the finals. This is going to be big for Zilikins if he's able to get through, and he does. It's a flush from Zilikins and a first point up on the board.
I think if you are not the priority athlete, it's really important to get that first touch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the be-all of end-all, but it just then resets things, doesn't it? And you're then, from that point onwards, it's then a fairly level playing field. Effectively, you get that first touch within the first 10 seconds, the priority's gone. It's then like, let's start again.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like you then take the priority.
I think we're trying to make sense of it as much as we can.
No, it makes perfect sense. We're just creating new narratives. That's what we do. Grij versus Kamsu is still pointless. Zilikins is in good form here. Kamsu gets the first touch, and Kowalczyk gets himself on the board. Needed that.
Yeah, Zilikins versus Kowalczyk, old rivals. They've fenced with each other for years. Beautiful foot touch there by Kowalczyk. The timing was insane. It is leveled the score between Zilikins and Kowalczyk with 30 seconds left on the clock. Kowalczyk with the priority.
Zilikins versus Kowalczyk is an intriguing tie. Zilikins has this tornado of momentum with him, but Kowalczyk is trying to defend against it. He's fencing without fear, Zilikins. Kamsu, meanwhile, is really just dominating against Grij here. Has to be said, Grij is going to have to settle being a quarter-finalist as things stand. Zilikins 4-2 now. Kowalczyk has to get the next two touches without reply. Zilikins in a very good position here to go right from 16th in the seedings to a place in the final. And he's done it. Zilikins is through to the final. Well done, an amazing run. And that tornado of momentum continues to wreak havoc here in Cairo.
Yeah, so the minimum that Zillikens can score after the direct elimination is 244 points. These are some big points. I mean, some of the athletes that have been eliminated in the round of 16 only start with 218 points. You can see that gap. And yeah, that is what Zillikens needs. Maybe he does need that bit of an advantage. If I'm not sure. Have you seen his obstacle course time?
I mean, without wanting to be presumptuous, I'd say it's not going to be the fastest, but I would imagine it's something he's worked on and is probably a lot better than he was last year.
Yeah, so I think big points he can score here up on the direct elimination piece are going to be very big in terms of his chances for the finals. So our second semi-final about to start now. It's going to be Kamsu versus Gutowski to see who joins Zillikens on the finals piste.
So Zillikens awaits the winner of this tie in the final. Final semi-final to go. Kamsu versus Gutowski. Gutowski has been as solid as his seeding suggested. And away we go. So Gutowski on the right.
Oof, beautiful hand touch there by Kamsu, by the way.
And there you go, exactly what you need to do if the priority is with your opponent. Now Gutowski has to make the move. Kamsu can just relax, go back to the back of the piece, invite his opponent into attack, which Gutowski does. Kamsu sidesteps, responds with an attack of his own, and it's a double touch. 2-1.
Yeah, still plenty of time on the clock. Gutowski is trying to go for a different tactic here, waiting for that counter aid. I think Kamsu has that all read now. Gutowski is trying to be aggressive here, but it is Kamsu with the defense. Counter aid from Kamsu, beautiful there with the French grip.
Kamsu's flying here. Zillikens watching on from the sidelines, sussing out who he's going to face in the final. And it's going to be Kamsu, the way things are going here. Gutowski needs a miracle. Good runner, Gutowski.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, just scored a point there up on the board. It's going to be tough to come back from this position. He needs 2 points at least to win this bout.
2 would do it, though, if the clock ticked down to 0. So Gutowski just has to back himself here. Think of it as 2 to win. Has to give it everything now. Keeps it going as long as he can, but Kamsu ultimately victorious. 5-2, a very good performance from Kamsu, who, by the way, the 3rd highest ranked athlete from seeding round, so I think it's fair to see him in the final up against Zillikens, who's been the surprise package here, based on the seeding round, but no real surprise. We know what an amazing athlete Zillikens is. Multiple World Cup medalist, won gold in Shekeshvereva in 2000. I'm going to test my own memory here. I want to say 2019. That was the year Ahmed Algendi won bronze in Shekeshvereva. Mariam's hands are raised aloft.
I honestly don't remember what I had for breakfast today, so.
This is your husband we're talking about here, Ahmed Algendi, Olympic gold medalist.
True.
The husband of Mariam Allah, our commentator here in Cairo.
So finals are underway now. Zillikens versus Kamsu. Who can make it to 250 points, the maximum you can get on this direct elimination piste? Kamsu with the momentum, but Zillikens was climbing up quite nicely, and he does with the first point on this piste.
Zillikens doing what Zillikens does best in this direct elimination, and starting with fire. He is, by the way, absolutely the standout athlete of fencing direct elimination. This is a lesson in what can be achieved if you have a bad seeding round, reset, refocus, build that momentum, and you can do whatever you please. And Zillikens now concedes a touch for the first time in this final. The whirlwind of momentum continues. 34 seconds left on the clock. Kamsu trying to get his way back into this. Zilikans.
The timing is insane. Waited for Kamsu to kind of inch his way forward and replied back with the touch on the chest. Beautiful from Zilikans.
So 3-1, Zilikans in the lead, comes from 16th in the seeding round to get a minimum of 244.6 extra points up for grabs in this final. This is a really entertaining battle here in the final of the men's semi-final A fencing direct elimination. 4-1 now to Zilikans, and this is a masterclass. Take what you thought might happen from the seeding round, screw it up into a ball, throw it in the bin. Zilikans is upsetting the odds. The tornado of momentum continues, and Zilikans absolutely dominates in the final. 5-1, he's the winner, and he has picked up a cool 250 points in the bag. Zilikans wins the fencing direct elimination after being the 16th seeded fencer. He goes through to win it all. Well played, Zilikans. Just seeing the replays there of those final few touches, and that's amazing what Zilikans has done there, by the way.
Yeah, and the thing I love about Pentathlon is the story never ends until you cross that finish line.
Totally.
Yeah, so it's
literally, you cannot relax
Yeah.
for 1 second, especially these days. There's no guarantee, and that is how the story unfolded. Zilikans defeating Bello, Abdelhamed, Kowalczuk and Kamsu. And Bello looked a little bit crestfallen after that defeat, but I mean, given what Zilikans has gone on to do, he can't be too despondent. Boom and Zilikans in the round of 32 was always going to mix things up a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So let's take a look at the standings, and you'll see Zilikans top of the pile. 15 places he's climbed. Everyone else is there or thereabouts where they started. Kamsu, Gotowski, Kowalczuk, Kolosar and Grich, all with similar points or positions to where they were. What about the big fallers, though? Fortunately for Valentin Blue, he drops 8 places. That's not how he will have dreamt that scenario unfolding. Charles Brown drops out of the top 9. So currently, very intriguing battle between Brown and Bello, but a lot will change before we get to that point where we are starting to talk about that battle for the top 9. Shaba Boom down in 18th place. He will climb, you would imagine. Up next, of course, we change pace. It's the obstacle. Let's just watch back the montage of the fencing highlights, and then we're going to start building up to the obstacle up next. Welcome back, everybody, to Cairo, Egypt for the continuation of men's semi-final A. Fencing direct elimination is now. The points are cashed in and in the bag. It's obstacle time. Steps leading into the big wheel. Big wheel then quickly transcends into the tilting ladders. That is where you'll see the speed in which these athletes go through. Over, under, through is probably the simpler part of the course, especially if you're new to obstacle, you wanted to give it a try. Then into the wheels, through to the giant steps. Again, giant steps, if you wanted to try obstacle for the first time, probably something you would be able to pick up fairly quickly. The swinging globes, however, are something I'm pretty sure would struggle with if you've never done it before. They're slippy, they're tough to navigate through, and then the finish wall, if you're low on energy, will give you a hard time, as we saw with some of the women yesterday. The grip tape, not necessarily as effective as you'd want it to be, which makes it an extra challenge. Welcome to obstacle, everyone. And we're only 1 minute away from the start. And our first heats will be Shababoom and Yang Ma. You can see the on-board here. This is what it looks like from an athlete's point of view. Into those flying hoops.
Yeah, giant steps into what I think is the hardest part of this course.
Special shout out to Pentathlon OCR coach Christian Edwards, by the way, who's been in touch and offered some terminology on how the sport, the intricates of this sport, which we will look into as the season progresses. This is your start list. He's sent over a very thorough list of the intricacies of OCR. So pass that over to you, Mariam, and you can have a look at it as well. They're really interesting to see how this sport technically...
I think the biomechanics of obstacles, there's
You're a doctor, so break it apart for us.
There's so many moving parts and there's so many elements that the athletes have to get correct in order to progress through and quickly to the next obstacle or next task. And yeah, they just amaze us every single time. Heat 1 on the blocks, Shababoom and Yang Ma.
Let's go. The first time I think I've seen Shababoom take part in obstacles. Let's see how he gets on. Quick pace through the tilting ladders. Ma is quicker, but Boom is, of course, a world champion and a World Cup final gold medalist. Ma is flying through those flying hoops over the giant steps into the globes. This is quick. I think a time of sub 25 would be optimum. Up the finish wall, just over 25. Solid. What about Boom? Now, Boom has got an upwards challenge to try to qualify for the final here, because this is not a bad obstacle run for someone who is fairly new to this discipline. And Shababoom, by the way, was always a very good rider as well.
Yeah.
So
I think the athletes from the older generation before obstacles.
Are you calling Shababoom old?
Older ER generation before obstacles was introduced. I think, well, obviously they had less time than the younger athletes, so it makes sense that they would fall a bit behind, but we expect them to get up to pace really soon.
Yeah, it's a good point. It does take a little bit of time to get up to speed, doesn't it? A year is what a lot of athletes are saying is
Look at Mustafa Abu Ahmed. He has the quickest seated time into the tilting ladders. Look at that pace.
Over, under, through. It's just lightning fast. Oh my goodness me. Skips out the first flying hoop. The cameras are struggling to keep up with him. This is a really, really good time by Abu Ahmed up the finish wall. It's a 21.39. Abu Ahmed absolutely flying through. Salamo as well with a good time, 28.13. But Abu Ahmed showing everybody how to do this course. Great
Watch
time.
him shoot up the rankings with that time. 21.39 is a time to beat from Mustafa Abu Ahmed. It was a masterclass. Look at that. He propels himself forward like gravity doesn't exist, literally.
Skips past that first flying hoop, and Abu Ahmed absolutely buzzing.
He has a ball of energy.
That's good to watch. Right, Multaz Mohammed and Jean-Baptiste Morsier. Multaz, pretty good pace through the tilting ladders.
Yeah, playing it maybe a bit safe at this stage.
Into the flying hoops. Good paces from Multaz. Again, I would agree with Mariam, playing a little bit safe here. You feel there's probably more speed to come from Multaz, but really solid time. Does well through the globes, and that's a time of 24.9. Solid time from Multaz. Jean-Baptiste Mossier's got a lot quicker an obstacle as well, by the way. 31.47 from JB. And yeah, Abu Ahmed, by the way, has provisionally gone into first place. 21.39. No one's beating that, are they?
Not yet, no. That's the quickest time of the day.
Li Chongli and Alexander Tovkai. Now, Tovkai, one of the more experienced athletes. Let's see how he's progressed in the obstacle. they're all looking quicker through those tilting ladders, aren't they? That is where time is really there to be made up. The more difficult the obstacle, the more of an opportunity there is to make up time, right?
Yeah, I think so. If you're a weaker obstacle athlete, you're going to lose more time. So effectively, that creates that gap.
Lee with a good time here. It's going to be sub 30. Just over. 30.5. Solid by Tovkai, that, by the way. Hits the buzzer. And that's a good chunk quicker than he was last season. So, yeah, everyone's getting faster consistently.
So we're moving nicely through semi-final A.
A dustiness in the air today as well. It's quite dry, isn't it? Would you agree?
It is. I mean, this is essentially a riding course here at Cairo Stadium, and we're using it for a whole different arena. But yeah, when the wind picks up, it does get dusty.
Underway now with Charlie Brown and Valentin Bello. Bello gets caught on that middle ladder. Charlie drops, so he's going to have to go back round, and that's going to cost him time. Bello, meanwhile, can safely get himself through these flying hoops. It could still be a good time. Great from Bello. This is solid. Now has to get past the globes. Sub 30 has to be the aim here. I think it's going to be just over.
Yeah, core
Lands
strength.
it. This is going to be a good time from Bello, and Charlie Brown has been eliminated. So Bello gets a time of 32.2, and Charles Brown of Great Britain becomes our first athlete to be eliminated. So commiserations to Charlie. He'll be back stronger, make no doubt about that. Valentin Bello posting a time of 32. So it was the tilting ladders that caught Charlie out, and he's tried to make up as much time as he possibly can. That's unlucky from Charlie, and he knows straight away. I wonder if he got caught out again second time. He did. Momentum's just gone, and he puts his head in his hands. And that is the end of Charles Brown's competition. It's brutal.
It is. Elimination means the end of the competition.
Abdelhamed's pretty quick. Let's see if he can get anywhere close to the 21 seconds that we saw from Abelhamid earlier. Into the hoops. Loses a little fraction of momentum on that third hoop. Into the tilting globes now. Finish wall, 25 seconds. Just over. Another pretty solid time here as well, by the way, and it is a 31.8. So the three Egyptians leading the way, by the way, at the moment. Abdelhamid 3 points ahead of Abelhamid, who is absolutely, as you rightly called, shot up those standings.
Yeah, I mean, obviously things are going to change a bit after swimming as well, but still 3 more heats to go.
Marek Griech alongside Mihaly Kolozar. Mihaly Kolozar, by the way, is a really good obstacle athlete. Let's see how he gets on here. Great pace through those tilting ladders. Just about gets away with the landing. Mihaly Kolozar, multiple medalist last year, through the hoops with good pace. Giant steps with just the globes to go. Skips past that final step. This is a good time from Kolozar. It won't be his quickest time. Griech is going well as well. Another bit of luck there from Kolozar as he lands it, and it's just over 25. Griech on a 28. Good time from both those athletes, and they will drop into first and second place. Good stuff from Kolozar and Griech. Really good by Kolozar, by the way. He has picked up obstacle beautifully, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's done really well for himself previous season and this season as well. He's looking in good form. I'm really impressed by Griech, though. I mean, he's had little time to practice on the obstacle course, and it's doing really, really well for himself.
I've been watching Mihaly Kolozar's training videos in the off-season, by the way. He's been doing quite a lot of rock climbing as well. It all helps to that core strength, which is so important in obstacle. Kotowski and Kowalczyk now. Kowalczyk just edges into the lead. Brown getting into this one, into the hoops. Kotowski just losing a little bit of time in that middle hoop. Kowalczyk accelerates away into the globes. Taking every other globe, which is the way to keep that pace. Oh, that's good pace. Solid time this from Yuri Kowalczyk. Sub 30. Tovsky just over. Both of them should be pretty happy with that time. Listen, I think 30 seconds is very respectable.
It's solid. It is solid. But when you have that gap of 9 seconds from an athlete like Mustafa Weimer, who put in 21, which is...
it's a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah, in context of points in this competition, it is a big gap. So, final heat to go now.
Kamsu and Zillikens. I'm very curious to see how
Yeah.
Zillikens going to get on here. PB of 28 seconds. Kamsu with a PB of 32. In we go to the ladders. Good pace from Zillikens.
Incredible
Good start.
pace.
Precision through the over-under through section into the hoops. Solid by Zillikens this. He's clearly put in a lot of work here. Zillikens now, in my opinion, is one of the favourites for qualification to the final here. Really good time this from Zillikens. Loses a bit of time in the finish wall. Hits the buzzer. And it's not far off his PB at 30.74. That should put him in first place. Kamsu will probably drop down to third. It does. So there you go. Those are your standings. Zillikens first, Kolazar second. What about that battle for ninth? A bit of a gap between Nal and Multaz. Impressive stuff, Mariam.
Yeah, I'm so impressed by the athletes who haven't done obstacle for as long as the younger generation has, and actually putting in really good times. I mean, it's only going to get better and better from here, and they're going to get quicker. And yeah, definitely a good omen for them. Still have the swimming to go, of course, and we'll get into greater detail as we come to it. But swimming is going to maybe change and switch things up.
So let's take a look at the standings then officially after the end of our first two disciplines. Zillikens in first place, Kolazar in second, Kamsu in third, Kowalczyk in fourth, Griech in fifth, Gutovsky in sixth place. The gap between first and sixth is 14 points. Let's see our second page. Abdul Hamid, Abulama and Mohammed, three Egyptians in seventh, eighth and ninth place. Ninth, the magical position that everybody wants to be inside of. This is of course semi-finals, and it is the battle for ninth that is the main focus here. Null 5 points further adrift, then it starts to drop off a bit there. Lee, Salamo, but what about further down? Bello will look to come back strong. Jean-Baptiste Morsier is one of the best laser runners there is. Boom, I think is probably too far off, and sadly for Charles Brown, eliminated, which means he now has really just to practice the swimming and laser run aspect of the competition, and also try to finish as potentially high up as he can with the points. Right, that is the end of the obstacle. We're going to watch back the montage now and then build up to swimming. Welcome back, everybody. We have concluded 2 of the 5 disciplines, but essentially just 2 events to go. The swimming and the laser run, which is of course a combined discipline. Up next is the swimming, and the gaps are starting to grow, but swimming is so important now in pentathlon. It's always been important, but now it's even more important. 200 meters halved, reduced to 100. If you're a big pentathlon fan, you can remember mixed relay a couple of years ago, where each athlete would swim just 100 meters, and that always felt fast, and now it feels even faster. And yeah, we progress now towards men's semi-final A swimming. And we will hear from some athletes in a moment's time, Mariam, but yeah, this is a crucial part of the competition, more so than ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sprint, essentially. 100 meters is a sprint, and you build up that lactic acid. And so, but I think all the athletes go for it. I mean, it's a flat-out sprint. Yeah, so 1 second, every second you go faster, you gain 5 extra points, which is major points, in contrast to the last few years, for example.
Now, it is a bit of a trek to pull here at the, is it National Stadium of Cairo?
Cairo International Stadium.
Cairo International Stadium, apologies. It's a bit of a trek from the laser run obstacle arena to the pool. The athletes hop on the bus and then make their way to the pool. They obviously have to change. So the transition is slightly longer here than it will be at other events later in the year. But yeah, we will bring you some athlete interviews to keep yourselves entertained. I think we will hear from the likes of Shababoom. But yeah, let's take a look then, and we'll hear from one of the athletes. I do believe it's Shababoom we're going to see now.
Yeah, after fencing and obstacle, you know a little bit how the competition is going. Like if you can play on the podium, play at the back, you know a little bit what you can do, because we just finished 2 technical sports. So now it's more that physical swimming. You don't have to focus a lot. You just have to push. Now we change with the swimming. It's not 200 meters, it's 100 meters. We change the format, not the discipline, but it's a little bit different. It's more lactic, it's more quicker, so we give more intensity. And I think it's good. It's good because it's more dynamic. The points are more difficult. It's 5 points for 1 second, so you can't manage, you have to give your best, and I think it is good. We will see during all the year what really can happen with this discipline, but I think it will be good.
French athlete Hugo Florel giving us his thoughts there on pentathlon and the transition. So yeah, a bit of a wait now before the start of the swimming. And yeah, the athletes will slowly be making their way now to the pool.
Yeah, so 3 heats of the semi-final A. 18 athletes will be reduced to 9 in probably under an hour's time now.
Are you up for a mission, Mariam?
Sure.
Do you want to go try to find an athlete for us to talk to?
Sure, let me go out and I'll try to find you one.
Off Mariam goes. So we have a little bit of a break in the competition now. As mentioned, the athletes will take a little bit of time to get to the pool. Just keeping an eye on Mariam now. She is just having a chat with the various athletes now. Who the female athletes are back today. Their final obviously tomorrow. Men's semi-finals today. And it is of course Super Sunday tomorrow. Both these semi-finals determine the order of who takes part in Super Sunday. That's where the medals are won or lost, of course. This is all about the battle for the top 9. And yeah, there are 3 swimming heats, and actually the transition is a big part of the time spent getting to the pool. In fact, probably longer than perhaps it takes for the athletes to even be in the pool. Right, Mariam has done her homework, and we can welcome into the commentary box, so I think possibly for the first time, welcome to Rita Erdos. Rita, hello, how are you?
Hi, thank you, I'm fine.
How has your competition been so far?
Yesterday was really, really good for me. My fencing was amazing, I think. I really enjoyed it, and after that, it was really easy for me. Yeah.
You were one of the stars of the show yesterday. I remember watching your semi-final and thinking, Rita looks in good form here. You're one of these athletes that I feel that's just improving year after year, and it's a very, very competitive field now, isn't it? It's harder than ever, pentathlon, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and for me, the OCR is hard a bit for now, but I'm working on it to be better in that discipline
This
too.
is the discipline you're finding the most difficult, OCR.
Yeah, for me it is. Yeah.
What about swimming? Because swimming has changed so much now, and so many points. 1 second is 5 points. 100 meters is quicker than ever. How have you found the swimming?
I'm happy that it's shorter than last year.
Really?
Cause
You prefer the shorter distance?
Yeah, I like it more. Yes.
But then, of course, you go into the laser run less lactic or more, because, of course, it's less distance, but you've got to go faster. How is it for you?
For me, it's the same. I had so much lactose before the laser run when it was 200 meters, so it's the same for me.
Hungarian women's team in pentathlon is probably the strongest in the world, I would say. Would you agree with me on that? You've got yourself, a former World Championship medalist. We've got Blanca, multiple World Cup gold medalist. We've got Michelle Guyesh, an Olympic gold medalist. The three of you arguably could be first, second and third at the Olympic Games. How is it competing in this team?
Yeah, I think we are very strong, and don't forget Blanca Bauer.
Blanca Bauer as well, of course.
She's injured now, but she's preparing for the next competitions.
Do you guys kind of keep each other like at your best? Because ultimately you are competing in a team, as like obviously from next year onwards when Olympic qualification starts. But do you kind of keep each other at your best, do you think?
Yeah, I think for us it's good to compete with each other because we are getting stronger.
You're learning from each other.
Yeah.
And it's like a close group as well. Like
our judges and officials.
Yeah,
mostly. You're competitors.
Sometimes
of course.
not, but yeah.
I mean, also, listen, Michelle won gold, and I think that's good for the sport, good for Hungary pentathlon. And how is the sport in Hungary? It's a big sport in Hungary, pentathlon, isn't it?
It could be bigger, I think, but it's big.
2 events, of course, in Budapest this year. We have World Cup 3 and World Cup final. What is it like competing in front of your home crowd? Is that even more exciting?
I don't like to compete in Hungary because it's so much pressure, but pressure is a privilege. So
absolutely. To quote the great Billie Jean King, pressure is a privilege. To feel that pressure is something that is a good feeling ultimately, isn't it? And it sets you up for those big events, of which you've done very well in the past.
Our swimming director, Ms. Dua Sapri.
In the 2024 World Championships.
And Mr. Starter, Mustafa Payet.
Does that give you confidence going forward for the rest of your career?
Because of the changes of our sport, it's difficult, but I'm more confident, I think, definitely in the fencing part and the laser run, but I need to train harder.
You have to keep improving. That's pentathlon. It changes, you change, right?
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Congratulations on a great semi-final yesterday. Look forward to seeing how you get on in the final tomorrow. Hopefully speak to you on the podium again.
Yeah.
All right, take care. Thank you, Rita. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thoughts there of Rita Erdos, who is, of course, a very impressive Hungarian athlete. Will be competing in tomorrow's women's final and giving us her thoughts about how the sport has progressed, has changed and developed. Mariam, we welcome you back to the commentary box. We gave you a task. You completed the task beautifully. Well done.
Thank you.
Great athlete.
Yeah, Rita is an insane athlete. She's an incredible laser runner. She's also an amazing person.
She is
like
a really
talking to her,
person.
yeah. And I think this is something that's kind of overlooked about athletes. They're not machines; they're actually human beings. And yeah,
I feel like we're unlocking Rita Enos's personality as well.
Yeah.
She's kind of like quiet.
She is.
But there's a lot there, isn't there? She's
Definitely.
clearly a thinker as well. And, yeah, I mean, you can see her doing so well. Women's final tomorrow.
Representing Great Britain, Charles Brown.
Semi-finals today. And semi-final A is underway, and the athletes are poolside and ready to go. 100-meter dash. First heat now. I think the name to keep an eye on is probably Valentin Bello, highest ranked athlete from this swim, and we'll start to see quite a few times under 1 minute, I think now, Mariam. Do you agree?
Look at that. Last 12 months, best times for all these athletes is under a minute.
If you're Charlie Brown now in swimming lane 6, which is at the back of your shot there, it's Bello at the front, Brown at the back. Give this he is capable of
nothing to lose.
Literally nothing.
It's just like a really good training session for him now, essentially.
No pressure.
There's no pressure.
Absolutely no pressure.
Which is interesting to see how he's going to perform under zero pressure.
How close to the 50-second mark do you think we could see swimmers this year? Is it possible in a 25-meter pool in a fast pool?
Definitely, definitely. I think you can even see like under the 55
I think is it
second
Jamie
mark.
Cook with the pentathlon record in there? 200 meters. So we're going to see world records this year. Charlie Brown flying in the pool in lane 6. See how he gets on here. It is sub 1 minute, 7 seconds. It's a 58.58 for Bello. All within a second of each other also. I think the first time the top guy is Jean-Baptiste Morsier, who's going to have to make up that time on the running course. He's a quick runner, Jean-Baptiste Morsier. There you can see the athletes' times being posted one by one. And the difference in the points is significant. You'll see Top Guy on 8.41, and Shabba Boom is trying to find his way back. He's a quick swimmer, Shabba Boom, as well. He's trying to find his way back into this competition. Yeah, you've got to absolutely give it everything, haven't you? The swim times are so important now. Just seeing the replays then of swimming heat 1, as the athletes for swimming heat 2 get themselves ready to get underway.
First heat is done out of 3 heats.
Beautiful shot there of Charles Brown with that gallop style of swimming.
Here's the start list then for the second heat. Abdul Hamid, Abdulama, Mumtaz Mohammed, Bulgar Anal, Lu Chang Li, and
Now
Pao
let's welcome
Salamat.
heat number 2 in lane 1,
They're just
representing
bunched up
Egypt.
together. Lanes 1, 2, and 3.
In
Currently in a
lane 2,
good position.
representing Egypt,
7, 8,
Mustafa
and
Abu
Mumtaz
Ahmed.
Mohammed is 9th currently, but you feel with his swim times he's going to shoot up the rankings as well.
Egypt,
Here we go then, heat 2 of 3 in this men's semi-final A.
in lane 4, representing Turkey,
18 athletes started the day and 9 will make it through to the finals in just under an hour's time.
China, Yu Chong Li. In lane 6, representing Spain, Pao Salamat.
So, final warm-ups taking place.
Starter.
And the athletes just getting themselves ready to enter the pool and begin the second of
And
the
they're off.
heats.
In number
Away
2.
we go. Mohammed in
تصفية رقم 2. أول 3 حارات مصر أحمد عبد الحميد ومصطفى أبو عامر ومعتز محمد.
Keep your eyes on Montez as well.
Yeah,
in third.
Mumtaz is going to fly through this heat. I feel.
Yeah, he's currently in 9th, so he needs to make up some time in the pool. Definitely, this is his strength, and he has to play to that.
Don't worry about
تصفية قوية جدا.
the final.
بالذات المصريين.
I'm not worried about him. I just feel like for his sake, he wants to get out of the semi-finals in the best form possible. The men's finals are tomorrow.
Quickest time so far was set by Charlie Brown, which was around 57 seconds. Multaz Mohammed is now approaching the latter stages of this race. 50 seconds on the clock. I think this is going to be even quicker. It will be. Approaching the wall. Lightning fast time, 55.1 for Multaz Mohammed. Really quick time. 3 seconds quicker. That's 15 points he's made up on Abu Emma. And I think that could really shoot Multaz Mohammed up those standings. A really, really good swim by the Egyptian. And he is looking in good form. And I think fairly safe backing to make it through tomorrow's final.
Agreed, and I like seeing their names drop into their respective positions. You can see Multaz Mohammed topping up that leaderboard, so he is at least in 7th place as things stand. We still have Heat 3 to come.
Yeah, and there's quick swimmers across all heats here. Lukas Kotowski could be one to watch in the third swimming heat. Zilliken's is a quick swimmer as well. In fact, they're all good swimmers.
Yeah.
In this semi-final, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to be pushing each other to the wall. Next six athletes: Christian Zillikens, Mihaly Kolesar, Ivan Kamtu, Yuri Kowalczyk, Marek Gric, and Lukas Gutowski are all going to be swimming in this third and final heat. We'll see that list come up on your screen. Here we have it. Heat number 3.
Now, let's welcome our athlete for the last heat. Heat number 3.
So here come the athletes in for the third swimming heat. In lane 1, Christian Zillikens. Lane 2, Mihaly Kolesar. Lane 3, Ivan Kamsu. Lane 4, Yuri Kowalczyk. Lane 5, Marek Gric. Lane 6, Lukas Gutowski. All 6 of these athletes looking in a good position right now, Larry?
I mean, they do. They all have good swim times as well, so I can't really tell or differentiate who's going to come out on top. Christian Zillikens is definitely in a good position. I mean, it's so hard to figure out who the 9 athletes are who are going to be making it to the finals from this top tier list we have of 18 athletes.
So final swimming heats here in Cairo. Zillikens, Kolesar, Kamsu, Kowalczyk, Gric and Gutowski. Here we go. Final swimming heat, folks. We will know our order for the laser run in a few moments' time. So solid start across the field. Looking to touch the wall as close to the 25-second mark as possible.
Yeah, turning at the halfway mark.
Kotowski with a good time. Zilliken's dropping back a little bit there. Gric looking pretty quick as well. Kolesar's looking very fast. There's some good times across the pool here. So who will finish fastest in this third swimming heat? Last few stages of the race. I think it's Marek Gric who's going to set the fastest time, by the way. Approaching the wall, and it is Kolesar with a 57 ahead of Gric. Good time by Kolesar. And I think Multaz Mohammed will still be in that top 6.
Yeah, I think he's going to.
Zillikens drops below Multaz. Kamsu drops below Multaz.
I think Multaz goes in first.
Drops below Multaz. Gric drops below Multaz. What about Kolesar? He's the only one that can get ahead of him. He does by 6 points. So Mihaly Kolesar in first place, Multaz Mohammed in second, Christian Zillikens third, Lukas Gutowski in fourth. We'll go through the official standings in a moment's time. Just seeing the replays then of that third swimming heat.
Yeah, trying to get the official standings. They haven't updated, but they will be up on your screen in just a moment's time. this heat is going to be bunched up.
Yes.
I mean, that first shooting series is going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge.
I agree. Right, let's take a look then at the standings as they are at the moment. So, Kolazar we know in first place, 6 seconds ahead of Murtaz, Zilikans, Kowalczyk, Gric and Kotowski, all within 5 seconds of each other once those points are transferred to seconds. And here we go then. This is where things get interesting. Look at that, Abdulhamid and Lee level on points on 8.85. Then there's a bit of a drop to Bugra Anul. Valentin below with a bit of work to do, but it's definitely within his hands to get inside that top 9. Jean-Baptiste Morcia could turn things around. It's a tough ask, but it's not impossible. Shababoom would have to perform a miracle. But if anyone can do it, it is Shababoom. Those are your standings. We'll go into greater detail as we build up to the start of Laser Run. That, our next discipline, coming up next. So we say goodbye to the swimming discipline and the competition moves on fast. The athletes back on the bus on their way back to the Laser Run arena, where this is where things really do get interesting. The Laser Run's changed this time. This year you have to start in the range. First visit of the shooting range comes as the race begins. The pressure is there right at the beginning. We saw athletes' hands shaking in the warm-up. It's difficult to rub off those shakes. Used to be that the first lap you would be able to sort of shake it off a little bit, but no time now. Straight to the range. The pressure is there from beginning to end. That's what we love. We put these athletes absolutely through their paces, and it is the battle for the top 9 here in semi-final A. We will know who our first bunch of athletes are before too long. So, men's semi-final A with the new metro in the background, still under construction, but it's going to be a real asset to Cairo, Mariam, once it's done. The monorail looks cool.
Yeah,
they were testing trains yesterday, weren't they?
Yeah, wish we got that on screen. It was pretty cool, but yeah, it's quite the spectacle.
We can hear the thoughts once again of French athlete Hugo Floro.
Yeah, last transition is maybe the most difficult because you just finish difficult effort, very lactic. So you have to put it down the lactic. You have to run a little bit to evacuate, and you have to focus to the last event. You know a little bit your place with what you can do. It's really important to be focused. Shooting will be the first thing after swimming, so you have to stretch your hand, your arm, and be ready to give all in, like you said, to finish the best way possible. And it's difficult, but it's like a bit. Think like oh, you are the last. It's the last event, so you don't need to think more. You know, in 10 minutes you have finished, or give your best, and after we can recover.
Hugo Florel giving us his thoughts there as we're building up to the start of the Laser Run. The athletes are just making their way into the arena now. Some of them choosing to run. The coach is doing their bit, which is to make sure the pistols are set up. Failing pistols is a very unusual occurrence now, isn't it? It's happened before, but it's way less common.
Yeah, true. And you had those timing chips up on the tables of these athletes as well. They strap them in onto their ankles, and that's how we get the official positions of them.
So the athletes now are really focusing on getting themselves up to speed as quickly as possible. What would you focus on the most here, Mariam? Would you focus on getting your eye in with the shooting? Or
I do some meditation, to be honest with you. I mean, the speed is there. Whatever you've trained for in terms of running is what you're going to perform. But then you have the shooting, which is the big element of surprise here in laser run. You've got those nerves in play, you've got that adrenaline, and you're just running around frantically trying to get yourself ready for the next discipline. And yeah, we have that first shooting series, and I think it made a big difference yesterday with the women's as well.
You would meditate, would you? You wouldn't.
I would.
You wouldn't shoot. You would.
I would definitely shoot, but for the most part, I'd work on my breathing. I'd work on my nerves. I think that makes the big difference. I'd run, obviously, to warm up a bit. Do some dynamic stretching, make sure the muscles are all there and working.
Before the Paris 2024 Olympics, it was the most amazing year of pentathlon.
Yeah, I think so too.
The competitiveness at every event, the sub-stories of
so
all
cutthroat.
The Egyptian men all battling with each other, the Hungarian women all battling because only 2 of each nation can go to the Olympics. And there was a lot of dramas going on in and amongst teams, which was all part of the show. But the question I was going to ask you was, that brought the best out of many athletes, and we saw shooting times of around 7 seconds being the norm.
Yeah,
6
7,
seconds being
6
the norm,
seconds.
6, 7. And that I don't know if we have that same level of shooting that so far this season. I don't know if the athletes are pushing each other as much as they were at that point.
I mean, the Olympic season and the season before. So, for example, we have LA 2028. I think starting from 2027, we're going to see things get much more bunched up. We're going to see more rivalries. We're going to see... I mean, Olympic year is brutal for the athletes. They obviously have to compete, improve on their rankings, and they also have to prove themselves and in the field and get up on that podium, make up a good medal collection heading into the Olympics if they are in with a chance of an Olympic medal.
Yeah, it's all part of the progression between Olympic routines, which pentathlon works in 4-year cycles, doesn't it? And you know, as long as you end up with a medal around your neck at the end of the routine, that's all that really matters, isn't it?
Yep, agreed. Athletes are now in the range. And you can see this is a different shooting training little set the athletes are doing there. It keeps them synchronized with their breathing, making sure that their hands aren't shaky when the target is in sight.
Bougra now, who will begin the laser run in 11th place. He has to make up 9 seconds, very manageable, especially with an athlete of his abilities.
Yeah, but if you look further down and you look up, I think all of these athletes are in with a chance.
Well, the problem is, you look at the top 9.
I
mean, Mihaly Kolozar goes through. I would say I would back him 99.9%.
Okay.
Murtaz Mohammed, I would back 99.9%. Christian Zillikan's 99.9%. You know what I mean? Like, these are 3 athletes who've been there and done it. And
Lucas Gutowski as well, incredible laser runner.
Marek Gric as well. Jura Kowalczyk, I would be fairly... Ivan Kamtsu is less of a known entity, so we'll see. Mustafa Abuema, a bit younger, maybe could succumb to the pressure, who knows? Lu Changli is in 9th place. and Ahmed.
I'll tell you,
Abdulhamid.
200 meters before the final, strip.
You sure? Because it's never that certain. You know what I mean? Like yesterday, we had that overtake.
Yeah, we had with I think it was Sazonova and the French athlete. Was it? It was. It comes down to the wire. It goes down right until the last second when you cross that finish line. So it's anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Mutaz Mohammed up on your screen, the Egyptian hero and the crowd favorite. We have 3 Egyptians in this semi-final A, all actually making up the top 9, or is it Ahmed Abdulhamid dropped back to 10th? 26 seconds off the lead.
Getting close now, aren't we, to the start of this laser run. Nerves starting to jangle, heart starting to pump faster. Bouguerenal becomes what looks like the first athlete to slowly make his way towards the start-finish line. Just practicing a few last-minute techniques. With perhaps just getting a little bit of a it's still too early to be making predictions. I think for the rest of the season, it's an unknown quantity this year, isn't it? With the changes in the sport, it's interesting to read Erlos, who was saying maybe our confidence a little bit less than it was last year, just based on the fact that it's a bit of an unknown. So shooting range will close soon, and Marek Reach just taking as much time as he can in the range to get his own. Here we can see the start list then for this laser run extravaganza. Kolazar 5 seconds ahead of Mutaz Mohammed. Zilikin's third, Potosky fourth, Greach fifth. Looking further down, it is that battle for 9th place. Lee, Abdulhamid, Unal and Bello are going to be battling for that 9th place spot in the early stages of this race. You feel, Mariam?
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be really, really tight, and I think that gap might change, and those handicaps will all be mixed up after the first shooting series. So I think our first shooting series is the baseline, and then we'll go from there. All the way down to 18th, you have to feel for Charlie Brown without elimination in the obstacle round, but Shababum still within a chance of a qualification spot in the finals. He's 1 minute and 17 seconds off the lead. Let me try to calculate how far off of 9th he is. So it is around 50 seconds. The difference between Shababum and Liu Li of China in 9th position. He's gonna have to put in every bit of strength and effort and training he's put in the past couple of months to get into the top 9. Shababum. Athletes opting for spikes in this sandy terrain
All
we have here.
Gone for spikes, haven't they? It's an interesting discussion amongst athletes which footwear they go for. Some events will have a mixture. You'll have the asphalt, you'll have grass, you'll have sand.
Yeah.
Right, folks.
I think the sand is a very pillowy consistency, so it does absorb some of that energy.
Well, easier on the joints perhaps as well. Spongy, bouncy. Talking about meditating, Multaz Mohammed, eyes closed. It's probably time to get up, mate.
He's up now.
He's up and about.
That's what I'm
Maybe
talking
saying
about,
a prayer as well, perhaps.
Yeah. I think meditate in your own way. Just try to keep that heart rate down going into that first shoot. You don't want it spiking at all. This is where things can come unstuck for those athletes heading into those first shooting series.
Multaz, I think, is one of the quicker shooters as well. He's a very quick runner. He won golds. Was it in Budapest last year, Multaz?
I mean, Multaz has been consistently on the podium for a long time now, so it's kind of hard to keep up with him.
Best Egyptian athlete at the moment?
I think in this roundup, yeah.
And not at the moment in general, no? Obviously,
I think it's so difficult to like say one athlete is better than. I think they're all good, to be honest. I mean, the Egyptian team is really, really competitive, and it shows because they're improving, and it's yeah, it's just a delight to see as a viewer.
Mariam will not put her cards on the table and say anyone other than her husband Ahmed Al-Gendi is the best.
No, honestly, I do think the Egyptian team is really, really good.
They are. All these athletes are great. We're going to find out who the best 9 are here in Cairo in the next 10 minutes or so. Underway here in men's semi-final A, laser run, leading the way. A multiple World Cup medalist, Mahali Kalazar, chased down by Multaz Mohammed. Christian Zillikens has done phenomenally well to put himself in that position after an exceptional fence earlier on in this competition. But there you go, you can see the top 8 are already out, and then this battle for 9 will rumble on. Let's have a look at the shooting range. Multaz Mohammed was meditating before. A 5.77 from Multaz Mohammed. Mariam suggested meditating would be a good technique, and I would say you've absolutely nailed that.
That's
Multaz
incredible.
lay down, kept his thoughts to himself, and has shot a sub-6 second. Multaz Mohammed is the athlete to beat this season, if you ask me.
Yeah, he is
Maybe I need to calm down a
absolutely
little bit.
flying through this field as well. He's not taking it any chances on this race. As we look back into the shooting range now,
Who's stuck?
Abdelhamid is out. He's in 8th, 9th, and 10th are all together.
By the way, has lost a lot of time there. Oh, now with the 10-second shoot. What about Bello? Let's have a look at Bello's time. 4 out of 5 for Bello. Bello with 18-second shoot. Needed to be fast. He's going to have to improve that. He's in 12th place at the moment. 13th place, in fact. Salamau with a 10-second shoot. What about Jean-Baptiste Morcia? Sub 10 seconds could be dangerous here. Oh, Jean-Baptiste Morcia shooting a little bit slow as well. 13 seconds. About Tovkai and Shababoom. Shababoom will be a late player in this race, if anything. In fact, there is Boom in the range, so let's keep an eye on this. Tovkai with a sub 10 seconds. If Shababoom goes sub 10 here, you never know. You never know. Sub 10. There you go. So we are pretty much... so this is the battle for 9th, I think we can see here, isn't it?
Yeah,
Lee and Abdul Hamid. But then Abdul Aimer lost a bit of time as well. Multaz Mohammed has already completed the first lap, by the way, and is heading back into the range. Mahali Kalazar is not pushing too hard. Multaz Mohammed has opened up a massive lead in this opening lap. You'll see in your top right-hand screen there that Multaz is back in the range. He was sub 6 seconds first shoot. He is unbelievable in the range, Multaz Mohammed. 8.3. I mean, he's in the final. Off you go. We don't even need to look at you anymore. It's that good. Kolazar, 2 out of 5. Kowalczyk, by the way, with a really good shooting routine. 6.95 from Yuri Kowalczyk. Sub 10 from Kolazar. Zillikens sub 10. Who else is next out? Gutovsky's a little bit slow here. Gutovsky with a 7.8. It's okay. You can see the top right-hand side targets. Kamsu with a 13.7. Right, this is where things get a little bit more interesting in that battle for 9th place. Greach with a 12.7, that's not bad. Abelema with a 14.8, a little bit slow. Lee's losing out time there. Abel Hamed is trying to get himself back inside that top 10. What about the chasing pack? How can Bello react, the 2-time world champion? Oh, now with a 10-second shoot. Ma with an 11.8. Bello slow again. This is not going the way of Valentin Bello, who started as one of the highest ranked athletes. Just doesn't quite look on it today. Jean-Baptiste Morsier is not particularly fast for his standards, so the two French athletes struggling. What about this battle for the top 9?
Well,
as
Lee's
Charlie
holding
Brown
on to
begins
9
the
now.
second lap. So go on, Mariam.
Yeah, I was just saying Lee's holding on to 9 now. He's pulling away from Ahmed Abdelhamid as well. Boom is out the range, as you pointed out. It's an 11-second shoot, not quite as fast as he needs.
No, but it's
this
still
point.
21 seconds total shooting range time for Shababou. Not too bad, but yeah, we've still got a way to go. Multa has crossed the line again. So
He's
we'll
not
count
taking any chances.
No. He
feels safe, but
he's just that good.
yeah.
He's just that good that he's not even pushing that hard, and he's still way ahead. Kowalczuk's up into 2nd place. Kolazar 3rd. Zilikan's 4th. Look a bit further back. Kotowski's in 5th place. Yes, Kotowski about to cross the line in 5th place. Yeah, Kotowski crossed the line. We're not going to focus too much on those front. We're going to look at that battle for 9th. Kamsu in 6th. Greach has been overtaken by, is it Abuema in?
Yep, it is. And Lee is in that 9th position, and you can see.
So there's a bit of a gap now between Abelema and Lee. So Lee has opened up a decent gap to get himself in those qualification spots. We'll see what goes on with the shooting. Multaz and Mahali are out. Kowalczuk's out. Zilikans is out. Now, what's going to happen at the shooting range? Is anybody going to get stuck?
Kotowski's out. Kamsu, bit of a slower shoot. Abu Amir is shooting good here, missing out on the final 2 shots.
Kamsu losing time here, 16-second shoot. Abu Aymar loses a little bit of time. Greach maybe going to get pulled back into this battle for 9th. Lee's out. Greach with a 16.6. What about Abdul Hamid? Can Abdul Hamid put the pressure on? It's 12.7, not bad. Bulgar Anel needs to be quicker. Ma with a 10-second shoot, decent. Jean-Baptiste Morsier has brought himself back into things. Keep your eye on Jean-Baptiste Morsier, who has finally put together a good shoot. So, Marek Greach has been pulled back into that battle now. He currently occupies 9th place. I would be worried about Jean-Baptiste Morsier if I was any of those 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th or 9th placed athletes.
Yeah, he is on a charge now. Greach is currently in that 9th position and gaining on Lee. 8th and 9th up on your screen now. Lee and Greach, and that gap is actually closing up. Lee might drop back into 9th now.
We've had 3 shooting routines. There's still 2 to go as Multaz Mohammed makes his way back to the range. Mahali Kolazar has moved back up into 2nd place. Kowalczuk settling into his rhythm in 3rd. Zilikan's going very well in 4th place. Looking further back, it is Kotowski in 5th place. Abelema
is up in 6th now.
6th, solid as well. And this is where things start to get a little bit interesting. Kamsu is in 7th place. Lee's in 8th. Greach is in 9th. But what about Jean-Baptiste Morsier? Where is he?
He's in 10th now and gaining on that 9th position.
Jean-Baptiste Morsier needs sub 10 seconds in the range here. It's essential. All eyes on Jean-Baptiste Morsier, by the way, who is the biggest threat for those top 9 positions, in my opinion. He's in 10th place and making his way towards the range. Who's going to be slow? Top 4 out. We won't worry too much about them. Kotowski with a 17.6. Not great, but it's okay. Lee with a massively fast time. But it's all about Marek Greach now. Can he succumb to pressure here? Because he only got 2 out of the 5. Abuema with a 22-second shoot. Abul Hamed is in the range. Morsier with a 10.07 and storms up into the top 9. Now, this is where things have got really, really interesting. Jean-Baptiste Morsier, I think, has moved up into 8th place. He has. No, he's in 9th. So Greach has work to do. But yeah, Jean-Baptiste Morsier has now overtaking Abel Amor on the track. So it's a battle now between Abel Amor and Greach. Jean-Baptiste Morsier has stormed into that top 9. Started the race in 15th, now up to 9th place. Jean-Baptiste Morsier. He always delivers.
Yeah,
he's like an aggressive postman. He's always delivering the mail.
He's incredibly fast and nimble out on the track. Look at that.
Jean-Baptiste Morsier is, I don't think he is the athlete we need to worry about here. I think it's Abel Amor perhaps that will get the pressure from Greeks a little bit later on, maybe. We'll see. Multaz Mohammed is starting his final lap and final shooting routine will follow. A little bit of nerves, I'm sure, will go. Charlie Brown is at the range, but is a lap further behind. So Multaz Mohammed arrives at the range for one last shoot. You'll see him top right there. Won't be putting too much pressure on himself because he doesn't have to worry, but we still want to get a good time. This is his slowest time. It's the battle for the top few positions. Multaz out with 13.4. Kowalczyk with a sub-7. Brilliant race from Kowalczyk, by the way. Kolazar flying as well. What about Zillikins? Zillikins safely through, so the top 4 will be in the final. Kutowski at the range now. 5 lights needed to progress. We're just going to keep our eye on those lights at the moment. Jean-Baptiste Morsier is in the sweet spot, by the way. Lee's out, Kutowski's out, Abel Amor's out. Morsier's out. What about Kamsu, though? Can Kamsu be caught by Greach? Greach has dropped down out of those top 9 positions. Kamsu's out, so you would imagine now, unless Greach can really pull it out of the bag, the top 9 will finish as they are. Greach is out with a 13.7, which is not bad, but will have to absolutely fly. That is the gap there. Kamsu and Greach. Kamsu in the white shirt in the middle of your shot there. A little bit further back, Marek Greach has it all to do on this final lap. Has to find some blistering pace. And actually, in fairness to Ivan Kamsu, Kamsu has upped the pace and realises that his position in this competition is under a little bit of a threat, but Marek Greach just has so far to go. Bugranel is trying to make a little bit of progress as well, by the way. But I think this is going to be too much for Marek Greach. That gap is reducing, by the way. Marek Greach knows he has to give this absolutely everything. This is his last shot at continuing in this competition. He's trying to gain on Kamsu. The gap is closing. I just don't think it's going to be enough. I think he's going to run out of track. Our leaders cross the line. Multaz Mohammed. The top 6 are fairly safe. Kowalczyk, Kolazar, Zillikins, Kutowski, Abel Amor, they're all safe. Lee, Morsier's had a fantastic laser run. And Kamsu has done it, has maintained that gap well. You have to feel for Marek Greach, who started in 5th and has slipped down to 10th place. That won't do. He's out of the competition. Bugranil coming home a little bit further behind as well. Salamo, Mar, Abdul Hamid, they're all progressing through. Boom did well, but it wasn't quite enough. Abdul Hamid started in 10th, finished in 15th. Solid finish that from Bello, but it wasn't Bello's day today. He'll come back stronger, a 2-time world champion. Picked up a medal in, was it a gold in Pazarczyk last year from Bello? Regardless of that, Bello picked up medals last year. And Charlie Brown just making his way around the course as our final athlete on the course. Eliminated from the obstacle, which gave him work to do.
Yeah, you have to feel for Charlie Brown. That was, I think, the first elimination we've had in semifinals, both men and women. And so, yeah, mistakes happen and slip-ups happen. And, yeah, we just know he's going to come back stronger and come back with a vengeance.
It's a long season. 3 World Cups, a World Cup final, and a World Championships potentially to navigate. Just staying with British athlete Charles Brown in the latter stages of this laser run. So top 9 as Charlie Brown finishes and completes the pack. Multaz Mohammed, Yuri Kowalczyk, Mahali Kolazar, Christian Zillikins, Mustafa Abu Aima next over the line. Lu Chang Li, Lucas Gutowski, Jean-Baptiste Morcia.
7 spots up. He was insane in the laser run.
He is the athlete of the day in Ivan Kamsu, and it was all about that moment of meditation that Mariam called.
It was 5.77 his first shoot. Multaz Mohammed.
Unbelievable.
Insane.
That's like the speed that you see the 5-meter shooting range in the Laser on World Championship under 7s shoot.
Well, he's done himself proud to secure his spot in the finals.
Lovely young man, Multaz Mohammed, isn't he? Always smiling, bubbly. He's one of those athletes you wish the best for. Wish we all of the athletes you wish the best for, but Multaz just...
He's very innocent.
Yeah, he's a sweet
in many
guy.
ways. So that was the men's semi-final A laser run. We already have 9 athletes that booked their ticket to the finals. Semi-final B still to come later on in the evening.
Just seeing the replays there at the shooting range, and it's so tight there. Marek Gric will feel very unlucky to have been denied access to a battle in the final. He had a good day as well, Marek Gric. It wasn't even like he had a bad laser run.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's so competitive.
So competitive. It was a really, really competitive. The shooting was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Jean-Baptiste Morcia behind you is always a problem, isn't it?
Yeah. I think psychologically as well.
His shooting in the first couple of laps, Jean-Baptiste Morcia wasn't actually that good, though. He was sort of 15.
Which means he ran like there was no tomorrow. That was insane running.
I'm sure Jean-Baptiste Morcia comes from a running background, has to, right?
Mm-hmm.
We heard the thoughts from Hungarian athlete Rita Erdos earlier on about how the competition is progressing, the sport is progressing, and how the athletes are adapting. Multaz just doesn't ever seem phased. Whatever change there is, he always just seems to be running at the front of that pack. He's a very consistent performer in the past 3 or 4 years of this sport. A real fun athlete to watch.
I think he's one of those athletes that just focuses on his own performance and his own timings regardless of what's happening in the field, and I think that is something that is very overlooked sometimes. And mentally very tough, Multaz Mohammed.
So those are your standings then. The top 6, Mohammed, Kowalczyk, Kolazar, Zillikins, Abu Aima and Lee. Kowalczyk rose in 4 places. We've not spoken enough about Yuri Kowalczyk, but very, very solid performance by Kowalczyk. Kolazar, very business-like as we'd expect from him.
We said this yesterday as well. I mean, as we look down the list here.
Yeah, Gutowski, Morcia going up 7 places. Yeah, athlete of the day for sure. Kamsu had a battle on his hands in that final lap. Gric really pushed on that final lap as well, and in the end only 6 seconds behind. It wasn't much. Frustratingly close for Gric. He's so consistent, by the way. A very consistent top 10 athlete. Like, I think if Gric had made it to the final, you'd probably back him to be maybe top 10. So
yeah, true.
Be,
I think he's very
frustrated.
consistent.
Just missed out on qualification for the Olympics. Shababoom made a good run of himself, 3. Not a bad first competition back for Shababoom. Fencing let him down today, but that'll be something he looks to improve on. Shababoom was the 2nd highest ranked athlete in the laser run. Right, folks, semi-final A is done. We know our 9 athletes from this semi-final. Still 9 places to go. Men's semi-final B up next. We'll leave you with the montage from semi-final A, and we'll see you a little bit later today. Bye for now.
Flying through the air. Wow, that is unbelievable.
Well, she did 3 moves once again. Makes it look easy.
Unbelievable talent. He's got himself into the lead. Smile.
Look at that shooting accuracy.
He's going to cross the line as a deserving World Cup final